check these mountains out. And I'm going to go thrifting here in South Reno, SPCA and Goodwill. Have to run an errand down here, so, you know, get a couple of birds with one stone. All right. So here goes. I usually don't go to Goodwill because historically the owner in Northern California owns these and most of the money goes to him. So I don't know if that's changed. I'll go see what's up. And I usually go to other thrift stores with good charities. So right off there's this Peter Gabriel. Strange setup, they lay in flat. Deutsche Grammophon, this looks pretty good. Come over here. Bonnie, Bobby, Johnny. Well, Paul wrote My Way. You know, I don't come over to Savers too often, and there's just one here in town in South Reno. And I'll see what's going on in there for, hopefully for some good vinyl records. So here goes. Jerry Mulligan looked pretty interesting. Switch over here. Rick Nelson in concert would have been good. It's pretty beat. All right, so that drive to South Reno is really, really nice. And I wanted to go to the SPCA. That's the charity for cats and dogs and other animals. They do really good work in northern Nevada. And as far as Bill's Garage goes, I talked to them on Sunday, and it was snowing really hard, and they were just all chillaxed in their home. And so we put it off until this Sunday, which is fine with me. I've been going every 2 weeks, and I'm looking forward to this Sunday. Now, I have a bunch of records to show you, and the first 12 are bona fide 100% thrift store records, and I'm going to get started with the Romeos. And this is on Mark II Records. This is from 1967. And Lamont Dozier is on this. And also Leon Ware, who did a lot of work with Marvin Gaye, Jackson 5, and Minnie Riperton. And this Precious Moments is a really, really nice track. There's harpsichord, there's blues guitar, very soulful. Really nice find here. And on Mark II Records, this is a really enjoyable listen. Precious Memories, the track is just excellent. And my next thrift record that I found at Salvation Army is Soulful by Dionne Warwick. And this is just really, really good. I mean, she really cuts loose. Kind of in the vein of Aretha Franklin, you might say. I mean, just such a powerful singer. No wonder Burt Bacharach had her cover all of his fantastic songs, co-writing with Hal David. And this is on Scepter Records. Love the Scepter label. And I put a nice polyline sleeve around this. And in particular, she really does I'm Your Puppet is really a great rendition of that. You know, I found this, a couple of years ago. Look at this, Spring Session and Missing Persons. Yes, fantastic. I mean, there was a time in the early 80s where I wore this out on cassette and bought another cassette. Love this album. Here we go. And this is really interesting. This is Brian Hyland. And Brian, he was really a pre-Beatles bubblegum pop star. He was from Queens, New York. But Paul McCartney does it on his alternate takes, studio outtakes from Red Rose Speedway, does a wonderful rendition of Tragedy. And I saw this and I wasn't quite sure what it was, and then I realized what it was. Brian Hyland did Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny Yellow Polka Dotted Bikini. That was his hit in about, 1962 or so. So really bubblegummy. And he also did Sealed with a Kiss, originally done by the Four Voices, and that was from 1960. But a lot of people did Sealed with a Kiss, Bobby Vinton, and so this is nice to have. And I really like his rendition of Tragedy. And next up, a thrift record that I got not long ago. This is Bruce Cockburn, Humans, and this is one of his very best records. He 80s politics, but I really don't care about that because his musicianship and arrangements and vocals, I just love Bruce Cockburn. And this is this is one of his very best records. Canada's own Bruce Cockburn. And very simply on a original inner sleeve and on Millennium Records. Now, really recently, I found this at Salvation Army. This is live at Newport. Muddy Waters, B.B. King, Big Mama Thornton. And the tracks that I really, really dig are Outside Help, B.B. King, and I Got My Mojo Workin', and the Muddy, I Got My Mojo Working is just sensational. Here we go, live at Newport on Intermedia. This is the less common copy of this particular live at Newport record. And next up, this plays dead quiet. I was just enjoying the very best of Hank Williams. This sounds just wonderful, really, really does. And I remember in my late teens, I would play pool at Family Billiards in Las Vegas on Maryland Parkway in Tropicana by UNLV. And I would be playing pool in there, and I would just play Lovesick Blues and Your Cheatin' Heart over and over and over on the jukebox. This is in the late 70s. Really love Hank. And check this out. They this is kind of a misprint. They put this upside down, as you can see, on the back, and this is just a very near mint copy of this. And this, again, this just plays really, really quiet, really enjoyable listen for the great granddaddy of them all, Hank Sr. And next up from Birmingham, England, that would be Fine Young Cannibals. And, you know, of course, Andy Cox, David Steele, Roland Gift on vocals. This is just wonderful. Johnny Come Home, the opening track. This one's from 1985. They formed in 84. But Suspicious Minds, that cover is just fantastic. And, I remember, during this era of this music, the beat, we call it the English beat, and general public I love equally. So just fantastic music. And here's a close-up of the boys. And next, this was $1.50. And this cover, this jacket is not that great. This is Yardbird's Greatest Hits on Epic, US Press. And this sounds great. I mean, the vinyl, I just spun this. And Smokestack Lightning is so cool, so awesome. And here we go on the Epic label, the US Press. Sounds really, really good. Although, you have a lot of that mono sound. A lot of Yardbird's recordings just, they just sound a little dull and not that lively. So now, I almost feel like starting a thread on this one. I'm going to show some fruit here, and you'll see what I mean. I got Jay and the Techniques, Apple Peaches Pumpkin Pie on Smash Records. And, these guys were Allentown, Pennsylvania's own band. And this was such a big hit right around 1967. Really cool to have this on Smash Records. Yeah, on the Smash label. There we go. And right behind, that was Salvation Army. And right behind that, or no, 2 days later, I found with the great single, Strawberry Shortcake, Jay and the Techniques. Lost and Found, Love Lost and Found. There's the band. Check that out. And on the A side, Strawberry Shortcake opens up. Here's the band. And there are the songs. And this is really, really cool. So I'm showing some fruit here. So if you like, let's start a thread and show us your fruit. That could be Watermelon Man, Albert King, the song, an album cover. Like here's Mom's Apple Pie. This is the band from Warren, Ohio, and I'll show you who they're very much like. But yeah, we could do show a band with an album cover with fruit on the front, or a song title that is about fruit, the band The Raspberries, that kind of thing. So yeah, let's do it. If you want to do it, let's do it. And here's Mom's Apple Pie. This is sealed, and Dan Stoner's Stash Box originally turned. I was flipping through Bill's records, and I came across this, and I just didn't know Mom's Apple Pie. And what I found out about them, I've been streaming this a lot, so I ordered this. This is sealed. I got a good price on this. This was online. So these records, well, Jay and the Techniques, there's a thrift. I'm going to start showing you some other assorted records. But I really, really love this. Early 70s horn section. This is a 10-piece band from Warren, Ohio. And Terry Knight was the manager of these guys. And he managed Grand Funk, and no wonder Mom's Apple Pie didn't get turned out, because Terry Knight really ripped off Grand Funk Railroad badly. I mean, really badly. So what I want to show you though is Mom's Apple Pie is a lot like this band, Madura. Madura is from Illinois, and they're very much like, let me show you, very, very much like this band, Chicago. With a soulful rock horn section, very, very much like. And they're also very much like Ides of March. Of course, their big hit. This is their other Ides of March album. And of course they did Vehicle, you know, their big hit. It sounded like a Blood, Sweat, and Tears song, or Chicago, something like that. But, you know, in the vein, and I really love Madura so much. These guys, I saw them open up for Chicago in around 1972, and I was so blown away by Madura. Amazing guitars, vocals, love it, if you don't know Madura. And next up, I picked up a Passion Play. This is a US press. Love this album. And this is just so much like my original copy, so I went ahead and bought one. And I was missing this. I have the Steven Wilson remix on CD. It just sounds amazing. And here's a record that was not thrift store, so none of these are thrift store. J.J. Cale, Troubadour. You got Cocaine on here. You got Hey Baby and Travel in Light. And Eric Clapton does a great rendition of Travel in Light, and he really championed J.J. Cale greatly, as he should have. You know, Eric Clapton did a lot for John Martin and J.J. Cale, which is was really great of him to do that. And there we go, J.J. Cale. Now, this was just, I'm so excited to get this one. This is a UK press, Deep Purple on Harvest. Check this out. Yes. Very pleased to get this on Harvest. And here's the side one. There we go. And this has a bit of a gatefold, very simply. And then check this out. I had a copy of this, and I don't know where it is. It's mine. The jacket was pretty beat, but the vinyl sounded good. But I have a beautiful copy of Dillard and Clark, Through the Morning, Through the Night. And this should be from 1968, if I'm not mistaken. This is on Edsel. And this is just this label really does a lot of Gene Clark material very nicely. This is Dillard and Clark. And, you know, Doug and Gene were just great friends, both from Missouri. And they just had a blast hanging out together and playing music. And you have so many wonderful songs on here. You know, Don't Let Me Down, Gene's Beatles cover is fantastic. Through the Morning, Through the Night. They do Rocky Top, Kansas City Southern, Polly. Now, Polly, of course, Robert Plant and Alison Krauss covered that on Raising Sand. Just a great album. Very pleased to have that finally back in my collection. Two last records with the passing of Kim Simmons. Blue Matter is one of my very favorite Savoy Brown records. And this is the US press on Parrot. And you've got Train to Nowhere. She's got a ring in her nose and a ring on her hand. And you got Louisiana Blues, It Hurts Me Too, the great Elmore James tune. And you've got the great vocalist here, guys, is Chris Yolden right there. Chris, you got Lonesome Dave, you got Kim. There's Kim. Sorely missed. And, you know, I met Kim, had food with him after a show at Lake Tahoe. Great guy. Just him and his friend and me and my very best friend, Kenny. I sat with him for, just about an hour. Really great guy. And just a great album. One of my favorite Savoy Brown records, and simply on the US press Parrot. Now, lastly, I just want to show you, I used to shop at Tower Records, and I should have bought a lot more vinyl there in 2001, but I did pick up Elliott Smith's Either Or. Yes, I did. This is OG, and, you know, this is one of my very favorite Elliott Smith records, and check out what I paid at Tower for this record. I also picked up some Sunny Day Real Estate at the time. I picked up a Pearl Jam record. I picked up actually a number of good records. So guys, I'll see you at Bill's this Sunday, and thanks for watching. All right.